We're here with head coach Terry Horan as he prepares for a pretty big game on Saturday. Before we get to the St. Thomas game, let's look back at Carleton. Once again, you came out right out of the blocks. You score on your first 6 possessions and you take a big lead. Did you guys see anything on film that you were able to attack going into the game?
Well, we just looked, we felt that we could probably throw the football, and we were able to do that. I mean, we had big games out of both Mike Starkey and Mark Whiting, and we got great protection for Griffin, and that's part of our offensive scheme that's really been improving. So it makes us more two-dimensional, which has been solid, because when you think of Concordia, you think of our option game and our rushing attack, but we're able to throw the football around too.
Another aspect of the game, that third phase that people talk about, your special teams kind of had the trifecta on Saturday against Carleton. You blocked a punt, you ran a kickoff back for 90 yards, and then Van Wagner continued his perfect streak. You went 6 for 6 on extra points and hit a 38-yard field goal. Let's start first with the blocked punt. Did you see anything in their punt scheme that you were able to get at?
We felt we could put some pressure with the interior, and Nick Lean, who's a big D lineman for us that can run, just got those big arms up in the air, and they actually had a flaw in their protection scheme on that particular play. They missed an assignment, and we were able to be the benefactors of a great block punt, which next play we ran a little vertical route with Mike Starkey to score, so it was a huge change. The kickoff return, Bryce Henches, it was good to get him back out there, and Seth Lage and also Zach Southwick have been doing such a great job. We had kept Seth off just for other reasons and being late in the year and whatnot, and gave Henches another shot back there, and clearly his speed and athleticism go to the house, but we had great people blocking up front for him, and that was huge. I mean, you were talking earlier about your 6 first possessions we scored on. Well, that was the 7th. So, our first 7 times that we touched the football, we were scoring. And then Benny Wagner just continues to be outstanding. He hasn't missed a PAT, and he had another great big field goal for us right before the half. So he's just continues to keep doing his job, and that's what we need.
Now, you got a game this week at all? So you got
just a little one.
So one you probably circled on the calendar at the start of the season. There's a couple of games, but this is one that you circled on, especially since it's at home. You're playing St. Thomas, ranked 3rd or 4th, depending on the different polls you look at. They lost a couple of guys from last year when Fritz Waldvogel and their quarterback Dakota Tracy, but they just kind of continue that scheme. They continue to grow and get the depth back. What do they present as a challenge to you guys offensively first?
Offensively, they got great size up front. You look across the board. I mean, they have some youth up front, but man, they're the biggest team in the league, no question about it. And they've got just great athletes on the perimeter and solid runners, and the O'Connell boy at quarterback is very athletic. I think he's every bit as good or even better than Dakota Tracy in some ways. So their depth is they're incredibly deep, and they don't miss a beat. Now they've lost some key kids off of their offense with some injuries, an offensive lineman and even a receiver. But boy, when you can continue to keep clipping around and not miss a beat, you've got good depth, and they've been able to do that. So they're able to run the football, they're able to pass the football, and that creates a lot of conflicts for a defense.
Now, defensively, they're one of the top teams in the nation. They only give up about 57 yards on the rush. What do they do well to stop the rush?
Well, they're athletic, they're physical, they create a lot of pressure for you. They're in a 3-4 defense, very similar to us, and they're coming from all over the place. They'll bring 5, they'll bring 6. They're very sound. They got a lot of experience there too. They're bringing 7 starters back from a year ago in our game, and they've moved some guys around because of some injuries in their secondary. But they'll create a lot of problems for us, and we got to be on our A game. That's for sure.
If you could point to one aspect of the game that's going to be the key for you guys, whether it be special teams or turnover ratio or stopping the pass, what would be the one aspect that you guys got to get done?
Geez, I'd pick all of them, but really, in big games like this, we need to be in the plus category in the turnover department. I think that's always a key stat in big games. I think your special teams will play a big role within field position. And we got to stay on the field offensively. So, I can kind of dibble and dabble on every one of them that you brought up, but the line of scrimmage is important. On both sides of the ball, you got to control yourself there and make some things happen, and it should be a great game.
And then finally, with such a big game you talked about, and getting back into the spotlight of playing for that MIAC championship, sometimes it's real easy to just get caught up in everything. Have you and the players been able to kind of step back at some point and just relish in what's going on and how you've gotten back to this point?
Well, I think you're extremely happy about how the season's gone, and this is exactly where we expected to be, though, coming into this week 9. I mean, you said earlier, did you just circle this game, on your calendar? You bet we did. This is where we wanted to be, and you know what? St. Thomas are the champions until somebody proves differently. So we did circle this game as a pretty important one, and we're in the thick of things, and it's great for our young men who have worked so hard to see their name out there as being one of the top teams in the country, and we certainly are that. We feel we're undefeated. That's our mindset right now, and we want to continue to keep getting better, and we've been able to do that each and every week, and I'm happy for our guys that they get to see, the polls and things like that, but that means nothing right now. We want to be there at the end, and that's what's important.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks so much.